In a cold, silent room filled with blinking lights and humming machines, Elara sat alone. She was a radar technician on planet Venera, a job many called boring. But Elara liked it. Quiet, peaceful, safe. Outside the wide glass window, twin moons floated in the sky. Venera's air always smelled like metal and wind. Her silver-blue hair was tied back as she checked the radar screens again. Nothing unusual. Then, suddenly, a sharp beep broke the silence. Elara's heart jumped. Her eyes darted to the screen. A red dot appeared, moving. Her pale blue fingers quickly typed commands. It was coming from deep space. Her voice shook as she whispered to herself, That's not one of ours." For years, stories had been told about humans, giant metal ships, fire weapons, but everyone said they were only myths, old legends. Elara herself never believed them, but now, the radar showed a signal code. It said, "Human class, unknown ship." She stared, frozen. This couldn't be real. Her planet had strict rules, no alien contact, no outside visitors for hundreds of years. Then, as she watched, the signal grew stronger. The ship was coming closer. Elara reached for her comlink and pressed a button. "Control, this is Station 12. I have detected an unknown ship. Possible, human class," she said, voice tight. A deep voice answered, slightly annoyed. "Elara, are you joking? Humans aren't real." She swallowed hard. "Sir, it's not a joke. The code matches old records. I can send. We're busy. Probably a sensor glitch. Reset your system." Her hand trembled. She pressed more buttons, reset. But the dot didn't disappear. It was real. Again she spoke. "Control, please. The signal is getting stronger." But this time, there was no answer. They had shut her down. Elara felt anger and fear mix inside her. Her silver-blue eyes narrowed. If no one believed her, she would find out herself. She stood, grabbed a data tablet, and saved the radar logs. Her boots echoed in the hallway as she walked quickly, heart racing. Other workers were off duty. It was late at night. On her way out, she saw her reflection in a metal wall. Slim, tall, blue skin, wearing a white technician suit. Just a normal alien girl. But tonight wasn't normal anymore. Outside the station, cold wind hit her face. The landing field stretched far, empty, silent, but above, in the sky, she saw it, a tiny glowing shape like a star moving too fast. Her breath caught in her throat. Elara wasn't imagining things. The ship was real. Suddenly, footsteps behind her. "Elara," a voice called. She turned sharply. It was Jax, another technician. His face looked serious. "You left your post. What's wrong?" She didn't know what to say. If she told him the truth, he might laugh, or worse, report her. Still, she had to try. "There's a human ship," she said quietly. Jax blinked, then chuckled. "You're serious? That's old folktales, Elara. I saw it on the radar. It's coming closer, I swear," he sighed. "Maybe you should get some sleep." "No," her voice cracked. "I know what I saw." Jack shook, his head stepping back. "Fine, believe what you want. But if you cause trouble, the council will punish you." Then he left, walking away in the dark. Elara stood there, fists clenched. No one believed her. Above, the glowing shape moved closer. Silent, beautiful, dangerous. She looked at her tablet again. The signal was still there. Stronger now. Alone, her mind raced. Should she hide? Should she warn the city herself? Or should she go find that ship? Her heart answered before her mind could. She wasn't going to run. Elara turned toward the dark hills beyond the landing fields. Somewhere beyond those hills, that ship might land. Maybe there, she would find the truth. As Wind howled around her. Alara took her first step into the unknown. Her quiet, safe life was over. Alara stood alone under the twin moons. The cold night air bit her skin, but she didn't care. Her heart felt too loud in her chest. The signal was real. The human ship was real. But no one believed her. Her blue fingers gripped the data tablet tightly. The radar logs were saved in it, proof. But proof was useless if no one listened. Alara had two choices now. Go back to her room and pretend nothing happened. Or break the rules. Her choice was clear. She pulled up her hood and walked quietly toward the restricted zone, the military sector. There, the deep-range radar control room stored more advanced scanners. If she could connect her tablet there, she might see exactly where the human ship would land. But entering the military sector without permission was a serious crime. Alara felt a nervous knot in her stomach, but her legs kept moving. Step after step, past sleeping quarters, past the tall silver towers of Venera's capital. Lights glowed softly around her, but no one stopped her. Until, "Stop right there," a voice said. Layra froze. Her hand instinctively hid the tablet inside her coat. Slowly she turned. It wasn't a soldier. It was Jax again. He stood under a street lamp, arms crossed, his expression hard to read. Double quotes. Layra ... "What are you doing?" Jax asked, eyes narrowing. "You look like you're sneaking somewhere." Double quote she started, but then she stopped. She didn't want to lie. "Not tonight. I need to get to military radar control," she said honestly. Jax's eyebrows lifted. "Are you serious? That's high level. You'll get arrested." "I have no choice," she whispered. "That human ship. I have to see where it's going. I can't sleep while it's out there." Jax's mouth opened like he wanted to argue, but then he looked up at the sky, the twin moons, the stars, and he said something Alara didn't expect. "I'll go with you." Her eyes widened. "What?" "If this is real," Jax said, voice low, "I don't want to miss it either." Alara felt relief and fear mix, but she nodded. Together, they stepped into the shadowy path toward the military sector. The gates were tall and silver, guarded by 2 sentry drones. Alara whispered, "We'll never get in ... But Jax smiled slightly. "Maybe you won't." He stepped forward, pulling a keycard from his pocket. "My cousin works security. Sometimes I help him on night shift." Alara couldn't believe it. "Why didn't you say that before?" Jax shrugged. "I thought you were just seeing things, but maybe not." With a quick swipe, the gate opened. Quiet and smooth. Layra felt her pulse jump. Now there was no turning back. Inside the military sector, the air smelled sharper, metal and ozone. Bright lights reflected off polished floors. Security cameras watched from the ceiling. They moved fast and quiet, ducking into side halls. Jax seemed to know the way. Soon, they reached the deep-range radar control room. A huge round chamber filled with floating blue screens and tall holographic maps. And it was empty. Everyone was asleep, off duty. Perfect. Alara pulled out her tablet, connecting it to the master console. Her hands moved quickly, plugging in wires, typing commands. The screens flickered, then showed something new. The human ship. Clear as day now, closer than before. Very close. And then another signal. Jax leaned in beside her. "What's that?" Alara frowned. It wasn't coming from the ship. It was coming from somewhere else, deep beneath the planet's surface. Suddenly, the console buzzed. A warning, alert, classified data detected. Alara's fingers froze. Jax whispered, "We need to go." But before they could move, the lights in the room turned red. An alarm. They had been caught. Alara's breath caught in her throat as footsteps echoed from the hall outside. Military guards. No more choices now. Alara looked at Jax, eyes wide. "Run!" she whispered. And they did. Together, racing down the hallway, past flashing lights and shouting voices, towards something bigger than either of them could imagine. Heavy boots echoed behind Alara and Jax as they ran. Alarms screamed across the military sector. Red lights flashed. Every corner seemed full of danger now. Left. Jax shouted, pulling Alara by the hand. They turned into a maintenance tunnel. Smaller, darker. The guards wouldn't think to look here yet. Alara's breath came fast, heart pounding. Her mind wasn't on her feet anymore. It stayed back in that radar room, that second signal buried beneath their own planet. Classified data. Why would the military hide that from normal people? When they reached the tunnel's end, Jax stopped. A metal hatch blocked their way. "It's locked," Alara whispered. Jax pulled out his cousin's keycard again. Swiped it. Green light. With a hiss, the hatch opened, revealing the quiet, cold air outside the military sector. They had escaped. Alara couldn't relax. She knew now. The human ship wasn't the only secret in Venera's sky. An hour later, back in her own room, Alara sat on the floor. Her data tablet lay in front of her, glowing softly. Jax sat beside her, both of them silent. "I can't." "Stop thinking about that second signal," Jax finally said. "Like, it wasn't from the human ship. It was from our own planet." Alara nodded slowly. "It's like something old. Hidden." She touched the tablet screen. She'd copied some files before they ran. With a few quick taps, she unlocked them. A name appeared on the screen. Project Echo. Alara whispered the name like a ghost. "Story, Project Echo. What is that?" Jax shook his head. "Never heard of it." Suddenly, a strange sound broke the quiet. Beep, beep. Her tablet's radar system lit up again, brighter than before. The human ship was even closer now. Alara and Jax leaned over the tablet together. They watched as the ship's path shifted. "It's changing course," Alara said quietly. "Where is it going?" Jax asked. Alara stared at the map. The ship wasn't heading for the city anymore. It's coming here," she whispered, voice shaking. "To this sector, almost as if it knew exactly where Alara was." She stood up fast, her mind racing. "They must have detected my signal when I hacked into the system." Jax's eyes widened. "So what do we do now?" "Hide." But Alara didn't answer. She was looking out her window, and in the dark sky she saw it. A small glowing ship. No sound, just floating closer and closer. Above the city towers, Alara's breath caught in her throat. This was not a story anymore. Not a myth. This was real. Suddenly, her tablet beeped again. Incoming transmission. Alara froze. She pressed the button. The screen flickered, showing static. Then a face. A human face, male, dark eyes, short black hair. And something even more shocking, a calm, serious expression. Not a monster. Not a legend. "Venera radar technician Alara," the human said, voice calm but powerful. "We know you can hear us. We mean no harm. Please respond." Alara's voice shook. "Jax, I don't know what to do." "Say something," Jax whispered, eyes wide. Her hand hovered over the button. Her whole life she had been told humans were dangerous. Now one was looking at her, waiting. She pressed the button. "This is Layra ... Why are you here?" The human's face didn't change, but his voice grew softer. "We detected Project Echo 50 years ago. We've come ... to help." Alara blinked in shock. Project Echo wasn't just a secret here. Humans knew about it too. Before she could say another word, loud knocking hit her door. "Open up!" A soldier's voice barked from outside. "Military orders, open immediately." Alara turned to Jax. Her heart said one thing: trust the human. Trust the myth. And in that moment, She pressed one last button on her tablet. Location beacon. Active. Now the human ship knew exactly where she was. Illyra's fingers hovered over her tablet. The glowing button blinked. Location beacon active. Outside. Her door, soldiers kept banging. Illyra Venera, by order of planetary security. Open now. Her breath caught. She looked at Jax. His face was pale. What now? He whispered. Layra made her decision. We run. We can't let them catch. Uzal. She grabbed her tablet, pulled Jax by the arm, and ran to the window. It wasn't very high, just 2 floors. Below, small garden lights flickered. Without waiting, Illyra pushed the window open. Cold wind rushed in. Her heart pounded louder. Then the alarm still echoing across the sector. Illyra! Jax hissed. That's crazy. But she had no more time for careful plans. With a breath, she jumped. Her boots hit the ground hard. Pain shot through her legs, but she didn't stop. Come on. She called up to Jax. He jumped after her. They ran together through the dark garden, ducking under metal arches, passing empty benches. Overhead, the human ship glowed silently, still watching. Illyra's tablet buzzed again. Incoming transmission. Human vessel Skybreaker. She pressed it as she ran. Illyra, the human captain's voice said, calm and steady. We see you. Stay where you are. What? She gasped. We can't stop now. The soldiers, trust us. Look up. Illyra skidded to a stop. So did Jax. They both looked up at the sky. The human ship wasn't just floating anymore. It was lowering. Silent as falling snow. A long black shape with soft blue lights, huge but graceful. Like a predator, but peaceful. And then, a beam of white light hit the ground right in front of Oyra. Jake stepped back. What is that? Illyra's voice trembled. Retrieval beam. Everyone knew the legends. Human ships could pull people up with light. Myths called it soul dash, catching. Layr. He stepped closer to the beam. Behind them, soldiers burst into the garden, shouting, There she is! But Illyra didn't look back. The wind blew her silver blue hair across her face. Her eyes locked on the light. She took one step forward, then another. And when her foot touched the edge of the beam, she felt it, a warm pull, like gravity but softer. Jax grabbed her arm. Illyra, are you sure? Her voice was steady now. I have to know the truth. With one final step, Illyra entered the beam. The world around her blurred. Light wrapped around her body, weightless. The last thing she saw before everything turned white was Jax's face, watching her with wide, scared eyes. Moments later, Illyra opened her eyes. She stood on a smooth metal floor. The air smelled clean and strange. Around her, soft blue lights glowed. A tall figure stepped forward. It was the human captain from the transmission. He removed his helmet slowly, revealing a calm, sharp face. Dark eyes, short black hair, skin like hers, but different. Stronger, rougher. Illyra, he said, voice gentle. Welcome aboard the Skybreaker. Illyra's voice shook. Why are you here? The captain looked down for a moment, as if choosing his words carefully. Because your planet called for help long ago. And because Project Echo is dangerous for both your people and mine. Illyra swallowed hard. Project Echo is real? Yes. His voice was calm, but serious. And it's waking up. Suddenly, a soft alarm echoed through the ship. The captain touched his wrist console. Veneran military ships are locking onto us, he said. Illyra's heart clenched. No, I didn't mean to bring them here. The captain gave her a small smile. It's all right. We expected it. He turned toward the main viewing window. Through it, Illyra saw everything. Her city far below, tiny, beautiful. Her planet glowing blue under twin moons. And the stars beyond, her world. And now something bigger. The captain spoke quietly beside her. You've made a brave choice, Alara. But now comes the harder part. Alara looked at him. What part? His voice dropped low, serious. Deciding whether you stand with your people or with the truth. Alara stood beside the human captain inside the Skybreaker's command room. The air felt too clean, too quiet. Her eyes kept moving, studying every detail. Smooth black walls, no sharp corners, blue glowing panels. Strange symbols she didn't understand. And out there, beyond the huge front window, her home planet Van Yra. Her chest tightened. She never imagined standing on a human ship. She never imagined being this far from everything she knew. The captain walked calmly beside her. Alara, he said again, his voice quiet but firm. You asked what Project Echo is. Alara turned toward him, her silver blue eyes serious. I need to know. The captain looked at his crew, a few silent human officers, all in sleek black uniforms. One of them pressed a button. A hologram floated in the air between them. It showed Venera from space. And deep beneath its surface, something glowing. A massive hidden machine. This, the captain said, was buried under your planet 500 years ago. Built by a lost human colony that crashed here. Your leaders erased that history, buried the truth. Alara stepped closer to the hologram, her hands cold. That machine. What does it do? The captain's voice dropped lower. It's a weapon. Designed to protect the colony. But left sleeping for centuries. Alara shook her head. That's not possible. Venera is peaceful. We don't make weapons. The captain gave her a sad look. Your ancestors did, and now the system is waking up again. That's why we're here. Alara swallowed hard. Was this why her radar detected two signals? One from the human ship, and one from the planet's underground? The crew officer pressed another button. A new hologram appeared, showing files written partly in Venerane script, partly in human code. These files, the captain said, prove everything. But your leaders won't share this truth with your people. If Echo fully activates, it could destroy not just Venera, but entire nearby systems. Alara's mind raced. Her heart felt heavy, confused. She wasn't just looking at legends now. She was standing in the middle of them. A soft voice suddenly came from her tablet, still in her pocket. Alara, can you hear me? Her hand shot to it. She pulled the tablet out quickly, pressing the button. Jax? Yes. I saw you go up in the beam. Are you okay? Alara looked at the captain. He gave her a slow nod, permission to speak freely. I'm okay, Jax. I'm on the human ship. Listen to me. Everything they said in the old stories is real, but it's not what we thought. There's something under the planet. A machine. A weapon. The line went silent for a second. Then Jax said quietly, Alara, I think I found part of it. Her breath caught. What? When the soldiers searched for you, Jax said, voice shaking a little. I ran back to the old tunnels under the radar station. There's a sealed door down there, big, ancient. I think it's part of Project Echo. Alara felt her knees go weak. The captain stepped beside her, steadying her arm gently. You understand now? He said. HFY nodded slowly. This is bigger than me. Bigger than anything. The captain gave her a small smile. But you're the one who found us. You made the first move. That means the choice is yours. Alara looked again at her home planet. At the twin moons shining softly. What choice? She whispered. The captain's voice grew serious now. We can land openly. Expose everything. But that may cause war. Your leaders will see it as invasion. Or? Alara asked. Or, the captain said quietly, you can send the truth to your people yourself. Speak to them as one of their own. Tell them everything. Alara stared at him. Her chest felt like stone and fire at the same time. Could she really do that? One voice against a planet? She closed her eyes. She saw her mother's face, her friends, the quiet garden she used to sit in. If she said nothing, her people might live a lie forever. If she spoke, it could change everything. Her eyes opened. Again, she took a deep breath. "I'll speak." The captain gave her a nod, respecting her decision. "Very well. Prepare the broadcast." The crew moved fast, pressing buttons, lighting up screens. Illyra held her tablet tightly, whispering one last thing into it. "Jax, be ready. Everything's about to change." And as the transmission light turned green, Illyra stepped forward, her voice calm now, brave. "This is Illyra Vanira. I have something you all need to hear." Illyra stood in front of the broadcast camera on the Skybreaker. Her heart was beating fast, but her face stayed calm. A soft green light blinked. That meant her voice was already reaching every home, every street, every control room on Vanwire A. She took a slow breath and spoke clearly. "This is Illyra Vanira, radar technician of Station 12. I am speaking from the human ship known as Skybreaker. I am safe, and I must tell you, the humans are not a myth." Her voice echoed across the planet. In homes, families stopped eating. In security offices, guards froze. Even in the Grand Council's tower, the leaders of Vanira leaned forward in shock. Illyra continued, "There is something hidden beneath our planet. A machine called Project Echo. Our ancestors built it with humans long ago. Our leaders kept it secret, but now it's waking up. It's dangerous. And I believe the people of Vanira have a right to know the truth." Tears burned her eyes, but she didn't stop. "For so long we were taught to fear humans, but they came to help us. Please don't attack them. Listen first. Choose peace." Then the transmission ended. Silence filled the command room. Illyra's hands trembled slightly. The captain placed a steady hand on her shoulder. "You did well," he said quietly. Illyra wasn't sure if she believed that yet. Her entire world had just changed. Suddenly, an alarm rang on the Skybreaker's console. The crew officer spoke quickly. "Multiple Vaniran ships approaching. Fast." Illyra's heart jumped. "Are they attacking?" she asked. "No." The officer looked surprised. "They're surrounding us, but no weapons active." The captain's voice stayed calm. "They're waiting. They want to talk." Illyra's knees felt weak with relief. But the moment wasn't over yet. Suddenly, another alarm, louder, different. The crew officer's voice sharpened. "Captain, seismic activity detected on Vanira." "What?" Illyra gasped. The officer pulled up a hologram. It showed red glowing waves moving under Vanira's surface. The captain's face grew serious. "Project Echo. It's fully activating." Illyra felt cold all over. No, I thought there was more time." The captain turned to her, eyes steady. "Illyra, we need to shut it down, now." She swallowed hard. "How?" The captain pointed to the same spot Jax had mentioned earlier. "The old tunnels. The core control room is there." Illyra nodded. Her voice was firm now. "Take me back down. I'll show you the way." Within minutes, Skybreaker's landing systems activated. The ship dropped slowly through the clouds, heading toward Vanira's surface again. Illyra stood at the window as the city came into view. She didn't know if people would welcome her now, or fear her. Either way, she had chosen her path. When the ship touched down, Illyra and the human captain stepped onto Vaniran soil together. The wind blew softly. The city was quiet. No shots fired, no shouts, just watching. Suddenly from the shadows, "Illyra!" She turned fast. Jax was running toward her. She felt relief and happiness hit her chest at the same time. When he reached her, out of breath, he looked from her to the human captain and back. "I saw everything, the broadcast. Are you really okay?" "I'm okay," she said quietly, "but we have work to do." Jax gave her a firm nod. No hesitation. Illyra looked up at the captain. Let's go shut down Project Echo. Together, human and alien, they walked toward the old tunnels, ready to face the secret that had been buried for 500 years. And in the sky above them, ships from both worlds floated in silence, waiting to see what would happen next. Illyra, Jax, and the human captain stood before a massive steel door, half buried under Venera's oldest radar station. The wind howled through the empty tunnels. Illyra stared up at the door. Her skin felt cold, her heart steady but heavy. This was it, the place Jax had found, the place from the old human records. Project Echo's core. Above them, Veneran soldiers and human officers stood side by side now. No guns pointed, no angry words. Just quiet watching, for the first time in history. Both sides were here. For the same reason, the human captain stepped forward, brushing dust off the control panel. It's still functional, he said. That means we can shut it down before the core becomes unstable. Illyra's voice came soft but sure. Let me do it. The captain looked at her for a moment, then stepped aside. Jax placed his hand on her shoulder. We trust you. Illyra took a deep breath and pressed her palm against the panel. The steel door gave a long, low hum. Lights flickered. Then slowly, it slid open with a heavy metal screech. Behind it was a giant room, glowing faint blue. At the center, a machine like nothing Illyra had ever seen. Tall as a tower, covered in smooth black plates, with glowing white lines pulsing through it like veins. It felt alive. Layra stepped inside. The air smelled sharp, like old power. Her tablet beeped softly. A message blinked on the screen. Echo system. Core active, emergency override possible. Jax stepped beside her, eyes wide. What now? Illyra swallowed hard. Her fingers hovered over the tablet's controls. Then she looked up at the captain. If I shut it down, will it ever wake again? The captain's voice was steady. No, but once it's off, it's gone forever. A weapon lost. Illyra looked at the machine again. She thought about all the stories told to her as a child. Humans. Monsters. Echo. Only a story. Now she knew the truth. Humans weren't the danger. The real danger was silence. Hiding things. Her voice didn't shake this time. Then we shut it down. With a single press, she entered the final code. The machine pulsed bright white once. Then, silence. The glow faded. The blue lights turned off, one by one. Project Echo was gone. For a long moment, no one spoke. Then from outside, a soft cheer began to rise. Not loud, not wild, just real, honest. Both Venerans and humans together. The captain gave Illyra a rare smile. You did it. Illyra exhaled slowly. Her hands finally stopped trembling. She stepped back outside into the sunlight. For the first time, it wasn't just her world anymore. It was a shared sky now. Ships floating peacefully. Soldiers standing calmly. One of the Veneran council leaders approached, her face serious but not angry. Illyra Venera, the leader said, you broke many laws today. Illyra stood tall. I know. The leader's face softened. But you saved our world, and you reminded us that myths sometimes carry truth. Illyra didn't answer with words. She just gave a small nod. Jake stepped up beside her, grinning tiredly. So, are we heroes now? Illyra laughed softly. Maybe just fools who didn't give up. That night, as the twin moons rose again, Illyra stood on the roof of her radar station. The human captain stood beside her, arms crossed. Looking up at the sky, Skybreaker floated quietly above them. Watching, waiting. What happens now? Illyra asked. The captain's voice was calm. We stay. Help rebuild trust. Share knowledge. It's time both our peoples moved forward, together. Illyra nodded slowly. As she looked at the stars, she whispered, I never thought I'd see the day humans stood on my world. The captain smiled quietly. And I never thought I'd meet a Vandiran brave enough to make that happen. Together, under the twin moons in a sky now shared between two worlds,